Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are the Muslim Family Adventurers. So today's video is a continuation of what I talked earlier, I think about a week or two ago, regarding our formula to success and our system that we use to map out goals, map out visions as personal visions and also family visions. And this technique can be applied to anything, whether it's community vision or it's a community goals that you have or personal goals that you have or family goals that you have. This technique that we mapped out in the video previously I'll link that video down below, and so you can take a look at that if you haven't taken a look at it already, and then this video will make more sense once you watch that one before. So that video mapped out core value for our formula to success. So what core values, which is your beliefs, which can lead to actionable items, which are your goals, which can then fuel your vision that you had imagined, and which will eventually fluctuate between your reality and your vision, because this is the world, this is dunya, you won't 100% maybe get what you dreamed or manifested or wanted, but somewhere in between, if you follow this process and you're pretty clear cut with your beliefs and your actions and they match up, your reality can be very close to your vision. So this process can be applied in many different ways. And so today's video, we are going to talk about core values specifically, so that portion of core values that was in our formula to success. And I'm going to ask that you please press the subscribe button if you're new and you haven't followed our channel before. We talk about everything related to personal development, family improvement, being the best versions of ourselves in terms of showing up in our family, but also showing up at a community at large, because if every family is conscious and does their best within their family, we have a whole bunch of high functioning families, and we can come together as a community and make a difference, and in a positive way. And so so I'm here to this beautiful weekend morning to talk with you guys about core values. I have my pumpkin spice latte here. I'm wearing my pumpkin spice inspired scarf. Even my pants are matching. So I am ready to go. Fall has been very, very beautiful, and the leaves are coming down, and it's it's really nice. It's really nice. We got yellow, oranges, reds, greens, all mixed up. So it's really, really beautiful. So yeah, I highly recommend that you get your coffee in hand and you join me as we talk about core values. All right, so in our formula to success, the first thing was core values. So what are your core values? These are, and I talked about this earlier, that these are your principles, these are what you stand for, this is your beliefs at the core of your soul. You feel it in your bones, it's in your DNA, and it's embedded deep into your heart. So this is what you truly believe in your heart. And some examples of core values, just so when you're brainstorming as a family and you're trying to come up with what core values your family align with, I'm just going to throw out a few examples of what core values are, and these there's many more, so feel free to just take this as a list of just ideas of what type of core values align with you and your family. So examples are positivity, honesty, a deep belief in God that's embedded through belief, which will eventually come out into your goals as action. Islam, dhikr, dua as the nucleus of your identity and your family's identity. Freedom, adventure, fun, peace, courage, education, activism, community service, creativity, health, being open-mindedness or open-minded, authenticity, your work ethics, delayed gratification, and the importance of sacrifice and teaching that to your children and what that means. The marshmallow test, if any of you haven't heard of that, look that one up. It'll teach children what delayed gratification is. And especially if you're in the healthcare field, you know what delayed gratification is. You have been studying for over 8+ years and to get to a goal, and you are very akin to what delayed gratification is. All right, what else? So core values. All right, we'll go back to the main topic. So these were a few ideas of what core values that you can align with and what align with you. And this core values can be a way that you help others. It can be a way that you help yourself. It can be a way that you help your community or family. So earlier I had said in the video previously, which I am linking below, I had said that your core values are non-negotiable, but I also said they were flexible. And so this can be a little confusing. And the reason I said that is because they're non-negotiable in the sense where they are your core beliefs, they are what you stand for. And I'll talk a little bit more about what kind of tests you can do to see if this is really what you stand for, and are you willing to give these core values up. And I also said that they were flexible because at any point in your life, and I talked about this in previous videos, that our life, we move in chapters, and there's certain chapters, and when you're in certain chapters and certain phases of your life, there's certain things that are more important at that moment. And so you have a list of core values, and you can always prioritize and change up according to the chapter in life that you are. So in certain times of your life, a certain core value that was really important to you before may come down because there are other things that are moving up in the list. So this is a flexible list of your core value system that you have, and that list can be moving down to up to down, based on what chapter or phase you are in your life. So the choice is always yours. The freedom and the choice is always in your hand. There can be different, whatever chapter you're in, these are my 5 core values at this time. And this is a different chapter I'm in. These are my next 5 core values that I'm in. So at any given point in time, your core value system is flexible, but the items on your system should be non-negotiable. It should be at your core, what you believe, your essence of who you are. So I hope that makes sense, because they are kind of 2 separate words, flexible and non-negotiable, but I'm saying those in different ways. All right, so I talked also about in the previous video of blending of core values together and why it's so important in creating a healthy, happy family. It's important to get on the same page. Usually a person's core values are given from, you're observing as a child, and you're watching your parents, you're watching other people in your family, uncle, aunts, grandparents, and teachers, and people from your childhood. And so you are picking up those core values from what you see works for other people. So when you see that, let's say, for example, you have an aunt who is very successful in something, and she's highly educated, that might become a childhood core value for you. You might look at that and be like, I really, really value that. I see that that has gotten her, into, and how education has served her. So I'm going to choose that as a core value. You can see, maybe you have a grandparent who is super wealthy, and you can see the freedom that comes with wealth. And so you can say, that's a core value for me. I'm going to work my butt off to work towards that. And so as children, you start observing life, and you start observing the adults around you, and teachers, and principals, and all that stuff. And you can pick up core values from the adults that are around you, and create your own personal core values. So that's what you're coming into when you're starting your own family. You're coming in with these core values. You may not know them, you may not have identified them because you've never gone through this type of exercise before, but you are coming into a marriage with your own core values. The other person is coming with their own core values. So now the goal is to put both of them onto the same page, try to come to the same page, maybe whether it's 50-50 of core values, or whether it's, have deep conversations with your significant other, and make new, family-based, focused personal core values. And the reason I'm saying focused, it's because it's very important to stay focused. Because if you have 50 core values, because a lot of things can be important to you, but I'll talk about how these core values have to be really important to you. So come up, my suggestion for us is 5 focus core values, so that we aren't all over the place. So it's not okay, on Friday I valued this, but now I'm so tired because I have 50 core values to align with, I just give up. And so that's why making goals becomes a little bit complicated, because if you have too many core values, your goals won't be very focused, and then your vision won't be very focused. So this is the foundation of what's coming next. This is your belief that's going to lead to action. So your core values, your family core values, or your personal core values, inspire you to take action. Many people say that belief, if you've studied law of attraction, belief is actually stronger than the action itself. So many times people are like, no, action is stronger, but no, the belief and the core of what fueled that action is actually stronger than the action itself. Because many ways you'll see, if I believe in something and I desire something, that desire is stronger because it might not come through the goal or the action or the avenue that you thought. Allah might bring it to you in something totally different. So it might just show up at your doorstep and you never made action towards it, but you had this core desire for it. And so, yeah, so belief can be stronger than action. So when you are du'aing and praying and trying to manifest anything in your goals in your life, get down to the belief and to the basics and prioritizing your core values. This will fuel your overall vision. And once that's established, we know that I told you it was a little bit of a loop-de-loop. Like once your core values are established, you can like visualize your vision, and then you can set actionable goals, meaningful stepwise goals, small goals to get to your bigger goals, and be very like realistic. And also because your vision might not seem realistic, but your goals should be realistic to get there. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. If you find yourself being indecisive, so if you're a person who finds yourself being indecisive, realize that you may be missing some solid core values. So if you find that you can't decide things in life and you're a little bit like on the, I'm talking about major decisions. I'm not talking about should I wear red or green. I'm talking about major decisions in your life, and you find that you're kind of wandering and you don't really have a solid purpose in what you want out of life, because we're given one life in this dunya and then we have our hereafter. So we kind of have to be planning for both. We kind of have to put that one in like the utmost priority, and then our life in the dunya also, because we got to live in both worlds, inshallah. So yeah, so I would say that if you're this type of person who's a little bit indecisive and a little bit not sure of what you want, sit down with yourself and choose 5 core values and decide what those values mean for you. And the way to test those core values of yours and to see if these core values really, really, really align with who you are as a person, test them. I would say test them in stressful situations. When you're experiencing stressful situations, do you just neglect the core value and just say it's not that important right now? What's more important is, what's more important is if I just, I just want to survive at this moment and I'm just going to let my core value out the door. That might not be a core value. If someone tells you specifically, if someone says, don't do that or don't believe in that, and you don't do it or you don't believe in it, then that might not be a core value. But if you, what about if someone said, I'll pay you $1 million if you don't do this item or don't do this or don't follow this belief, and you say, okay, I'll accept the $1 million, then that's not your core value. If after all of these tests in stressful situations, when someone tells you not to do something, or if someone says, I'll pay you $1 million not to do that thing, and you still stand by your core value, and you still say, no, thank you, I appreciate those might be your core values, but these are my core values, then you may be headed towards, this exercise might help you towards building that as a core value. Another thing you can do is foreshadow into your future and just see, and kind of like peek into your future and just be like, how does this core value play out and align with making my family life happy or making me happy? And then that might also help to figure out what your core values are. So I don't want to give you guys like my personal core values or my family's core values, because everybody is different. Everybody has different things that they prioritize in their life and different things that they believe in. But one of my family's core values is fun. So if someone told me, no, just sit at home and don't have fun, I would say, no, thank you for your insight. That might work for you. But it's really, really critical for me and my family to have fun and to experience different things and have new experiences, because it builds their confidence, it builds their leadership skills, it builds their creativity, their overall well-being. And so we want our home environment and we want our adventures to feel like, to have full of memories and full of excitement and laughter. And so for me, for us, that's an example of our core value, that someone paid us $1 million to sit at home and not have fun, I would say, no, thank you. Here's your $1 million. I'm gonna stick with our core value. So I recommend, getting down 15 minutes with a piece of paper and pen, with your spouse, or even personal. Start personal first, and then sit down with your spouse also, and maybe have him or her do their exercise separately, and then come together and build your values. And the main prompt, I would say, is who are you? That's your main prompt. What makes you you? And so when you start there and you start figuring out who you are, your core values should come together. And I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope those few examples and tips I gave as tests of what to do with your core, of what to do, like how to test it out to see if it's a core value, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope this helps, and I hope this process helps in just figuring out who you are, what you stand for, what your family stands for, and the process of getting your core values, aligning with your goals, making actionable goals, can help get you to your vision and your reality. It's really important to feel fulfilled in life. And I think if you chase happiness, because happiness is fleeting, it can be times where you're happy and there's times where you're sad. Chasing happiness might not be I guess the easiest thing, because like I said, things change, circumstances change, and if your circumstances change and your happiness goes down, then it might not feel as, I guess, fulfilling. So the most important thing is fulfillment, I think, is seeking fulfillment and seeking joy in who you are and what you believe in and what you want for your hereafter. So that's really, really important. So yeah, seek fulfillment, and instead of running behind just happiness, because happiness can be fleeting, it can move, it can go up and down. So yeah, this formula for success really helps us in deciding what it is that we want, and we make actionable goals, we reach them, and then we move on to the next thing. And this helps us build together as a family and build our life, and just build ourselves up too, and get to reach our goals. So yeah, my prompt to you guys is what makes you you, and who are you, and go from there. I hope this helps. Take care. Next video will be about goals and how to set actionable goals for yourself. So I'm excited about that, because I am a goal digger. I'm very ambitious, and I love to set goals. And when I don't have one, I feel a little scattered brained. So yeah, I will share with you on my process and our process as how we make personal goals and how we make family goals. And so I hope this makes sense. All right, take care, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Have a great week. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.